It's Henry Bryant and I'm joined with George Groves. Now, Friday at the Brighton Centre, we have got your boy Lucas doing his thing. He was a basketball player before he's a boxer. So talk to me about sort of how you got involved in his journey and how is he looking? 22 years old, 6 wins. He's looking like a good contender here.
Yeah, well, I met him in the basket. No, I didn't. I met him in the boxing gym, not in a basketball court. Where would he be? He'd be in the court, wouldn't he?
Maybe.
So no. But if you watch him do his sprints and his jumps, you would not be surprised to say that he probably wasn't a bad basketball player. But yeah, he's had to knock all that malarkey on the head and concentrate on his boxing now. But I met him at the Dairy Youth Amateur Boxing Club where I came out of, and I go down there Sundays and I volunteer coach, give my bit back, and he was one of the standout fighters down there in a very good gym full of a lot of great fighters. And when he expressed a desire to turn professional, my ears pricked, and I thought if this opportunity is here, it may be too good to miss. One day I might have a shift within my life and become a full-time coach, and this guy is the perfect guy to do it with, and someone who I think I could do a tremendous job with. So we've teamed up, we've linked up, and I'm pulling all my experiences, channeling them into Lucas, who I think is flying. And we're back down here in Brighton. He's already boxed here, been successful, and unless things change, I think he's opening the show for Channel 5 on Friday night. So, in his 7th fight, he's on terrestrial TV. Tremendous thing for him, tremendous thing for me as a trainer and manager. And thankful to Wasserman for Nissa taking care of us like that, and really excited to put on another devastating display.
Absolutely, and like you say, he's already getting these opportunities, and he's having on his 7th fight or coming up to his 7th fight. He was quite humble when I spoke to him. He said that he just wants to stay active, because I asked him what's going to be the plan for the next 5 years. Have you got anything you can sort of share with us of what you'd like him to achieve in maybe 5 years, or just along his career as he gets going and turns into those sort of mid to late 20s?
Well, in 5 years' time, I want him to be the unified #1 cruiserweight in the world with a Ring Magazine belt and everything else. So when a fighter turns professional, he's got 2 years to win a domestic title, unless politics gets in the way. But within 2 years, he should be good enough to win a domestic title, and within 4 years, he should be good enough to be a world champion. There might be guys who may be better than him, who knows, that depends on the division. But you're obviously aspiring to be the very best, but that is the level I anticipate every fighter should be at. I was challenging for the Commonwealth title in my 9th fight, after 16, 17 months as a pro. I would have been challenged for a world title a year before I actually did. Felt I was good enough to do it at that point. So that would have been maybe 3 years into my pro career. And I think the same can be said for anyone else. 4 years makes perfect sense. So for him, maybe 25, maybe 26. On the younger side for a cruiserweight, who, the bigger they are, the later they develop. But I would not be surprised if he's at that point. In the immediate time, I'd love to keep him busy, keep him active. He's moving up to 8 rounds now, so keep him tested. He's always fighting opposition who are coming to win, with winning records, who are going to ask questions of him that he's going to have to overcome. So sometimes the record might not be spectacular, but the fight is a good fight. And obviously we're working within certain parameters. There's not an insane budget on him. He's not an Olympian where there's a huge investment. Lots of the investment that have been put into him is out of Lucas's pocket, out of my pocket, and we're fortunate enough to have fantastic sponsors in Rockstar Games and Subcool who enable Lucas to follow his own path. We're extremely grateful to Wasserman, who have been brilliant. Obviously, I have a personal connection to Wasserman. Boxed, with Kalle Sauerland and Nissa Sauerland for the Sauerland promotions, as well as being represented as a Wasserman client who took care of a lot of my commercial deals, and even at the end, taking care of some managerial stuff for me. so that's there. They've been great for us. They've given us a tremendous platform, and we've been told that he's opening the show on Channel 5 terrestrial TV in his 7th fight. That's even something that I can't claim to have had. I was chief support on a pay-per-view at 9 fights, so maybe that does trump him a bit. But terrestrial TV, I had to fight for world titles, win European belts before I got to that stage. So I'm excited for him.
Remember that name, Lucas Roehrig. Going to end the video there, but I wanted to just quickly get some sort of Instagrammy, TikToky bits for you, if that's all right. Nothing bullshitty, but thoughts on that Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn fight. I mean, everyone I've spoken to said Chris Eubank was a shell of a man. What did you make of it? Do you think people aren't giving Conor Benn his flowers?
I think it's somewhere in the middle. Chris Eubank was obviously not at the races, but Conor Benn was really good, so you don't want to take that away from him.
100%. You fought Chris Eubank Jr. What's the biggest weakness he had in that fight for you? Because obviously it seemed like the gas tank at times, but then he proved how much of a gas tank he has even at his age in that first fight, because he was going for it. He outworked Conor. This time Conor Benn outworked him. And another part of that question, do you think that the weight played any part of it this time round?
So the first part of the question, what was his biggest weakness when he fought me? It certainly wasn't his endurance, because that was something that I was most concerned about, was his endurance, his punch output, his fitness, and therefore when you got good fitness, you got good punch resistance, you can be dangerous late. But yeah, I think in terms of the weight making for this fight, he's fought a middleweight. He's fought a middleweight for the past 6 fights, or whatever it may have been. So, it's up to him.